not caring what anybody else thinks and creating for yourself. Can you do it? Yes, you can do it. Is it going to be easy? No, it is not going to be easy. But living a life where you're so concerned about what other people are doing or what other people think about you isn't much of a life at all. And in fact, it's more their life than it is your life. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through some steps that you can take to stop worrying so much about what other people think and how you can create something in your life that is worth focusing on. Stop consuming and start creating. The first thing you need to do is stop consuming so much worthless content. Notice how I didn't say stop consuming content in general. It's just the worthless kind. How do you know it's worthless? Well, from my perspective, anything that doesn't teach, motivate, inspire is worthless. In that it's simply there to entertain you, to rob you of your time, and to give you nothing else in return. And so any type of content that I consume, I try to be very conscientious about what it is. And if I find that it's not something that motivates, inspires, or teaches, then I will generally unfollow it. And every so often I will go through Instagram, X, YouTube, TikTok, any of these, and I will unfollow these accounts that are wasting my time. Or if they've changed enough to where it doesn't serve me anymore, I will unfollow them so they do not clutter my life and steal my attention and my focus. The other thing that happens when you consume a lot of content is you inevitably start to compare yourself to other people. And there's a reason why. There's a famous saying, comparison is the thief of joy. You're so focused on what everybody else is doing and how they live their life that you're not actually living yours, and you're so focused on them. I would say that you lose a part of yourself when you start to make these types of comparisons. There's a quote that I really like that says, "Always stick to what makes you weird, odd, strange, or different. That's your source of power," which is similar to occupy your niche. Embrace your strangeness, identify what makes you different, fuse those things together, and become an anomaly. Basically, what my mom always told me growing up applies, which is let your weirdness work for you. So the bottom line is choose to follow people that inspire you, that educate you or motivate you, and not people that are just looking to sap your attention and give you nothing in return. Who you choose to follow should build you up and not mindlessly entertain you. I would say in this context, ignorance truly can be bliss. If you simply cut out all the noise and the distraction, and you only allow what is truly useful to you in, then you're gonna really get ahead. Find what makes you happy. Now don't overthink this. You already know what makes you happy. What do you do in your spare time? What do you do when there's no deadlines, when you just wanna pick me up? What do you do that gives you energy? That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. For me, it's nature, photography, it's design, it's fitness, exercising, it's challenging myself, it's trying to be better, it's reading interesting books. For you, it might be writing or reading, it might be cooking or painting or woodcrafting or whatever you want. Those are the types of things that make you happy. Those are the types of things you should be pursuing. If you still can't think of anything, try the perfect day exercise. It's where you sit or lay down and you imagine with no limitations your perfect day and go through your day step by step. So what time are you waking up? What do you do right when you wake up? What do you eat for breakfast? What are you going to spend the morning doing? What are you going to have for lunch? What are you going to do all afternoon? Dinner, evening, who are you going to spend time with? What are you going to do? In your perfect day, there are no obligations, there are no limitations. This is things that you truly would like to fill your perfect day with. When I do this exercise, I imagine myself outside with my camera, creating cool photographs. I see myself writing, exploring interesting thoughts and concepts. I'm at the gym working out or playing basketball, spending time with my friends, playing games. I would choose to fill my day with things that make me feel good. And I think these are the things that we should be pursuing unapologetically. Well, that's the perfect day strategy. And if that's not interesting to you, or if that doesn't work for you, if you have a hard time visualizing that, here's another strategy. Ask somebody, this can be a friend or a family member, what they notice about you and what you're good at. So oftentimes, a lot of people will see things that you have become blind to, or things that you just don't think are interesting, but when somebody else tells you, it takes on a new life. I did this a few years ago when I was struggling to really come up with some successes for myself. So what I did is I emailed my parents and I asked them to help me remember some of the successes that I've had over the years. And what I got back was extremely enlightening, because it was a huge list of all these things that I had accomplished or that they felt were impressive. And a lot of them I had forgotten about, or I didn't really think that was a big deal, but to them it was a much bigger deal. And it put it in a new light, and I thought, okay, that's actually pretty cool. I like that. I'm gonna list that down. So when you do that and you find these things that you're passionate about, or you find these successes that you've had over the years and you feel like you want to keep pursuing them, remember this: don't do things just because you think you're going to get something for it. That's not why we do things. Do what's interesting to you. Follow what's interesting. Don't worry about the outcome. We can never predict the outcome. Follow your own inner guide. And that's really the basis of when you find these things that you're passionate about, what makes you happy. When you pursue them, you shouldn't be pursuing them with some particular specific outcome in mind. Just be happy and enjoy creation and enjoy following something that you find interesting. Create for yourself. Everyone else is invited. When I was young, I had a container of action figures that I had gotten from my older brothers, and had some of my action figures in it. We had Ninja Turtles, we had Shredder, we had Batman, we had He-Man, and a whole bunch of other characters. And I would build these sprawling, complex storylines and scenes in our living room where my action figures would be on the couch and under it and on the bookshelf and on the windowsill. And I would have these hours-long play sessions where I would really enjoy myself and get lost in the narrative and in the story that I was creating. I remember how excited I was to show my setup to my mom, who enjoyed hearing me talk about it and to learn about the world that I had created and these characters. And when I played like this as a kid, I wasn't concerned about what my siblings or what my mom thought. I was simply happy to be creating and to be playing and to be exploring. And I was just happy to invite them along for the journey, to come along and to learn about what I've been doing and to see the complexities that I've come up with. I didn't play the way that they wanted me to play, and I think that's key here. I played the way that I wanted to play, and I was excited to show them, and they generally were excited back because they saw my passion. They were excited to learn what I was doing, and I think that's what we should all be striving for. We should play the way that we want to play and invite others to see what we're up to. The key here is when you think about what other people want for you, that's where you run into trouble. And when you think about what you want for yourself first and then invite others to join in, that's when you're going to find success. Remember, don't be a prisoner to someone's idea of you. Don't be so concerned what everybody else is thinking you should be doing or what they might think about you if you do certain things. That should not be anything you're concerned about. You should only be playing the way that you want to play. Remember, the most valuable thing you can do is simply be yourself. But as long as we're attached to what other people think of us, we will always be what people want us to be rather than being ourselves. So just be yourself and let your weirdness work for you. Refine your direction over time. Obviously, this isn't something that you can just do and be done with it. This is something that is going to be a constant, semi-frequent thing that you do, where you need to reevaluate and determine if you've allowed other people's perceptions to influence what you do or what other people might think of you, and take that time when you reevaluate to align yourself with what you want to do, make sure you're doing it how you want to do it, and then moving forward with that. Also, it's not just simply a just decide not to care type thing. It is a ongoing process that requires a lot of attention and a lot of care. Remember that nobody makes it out of this life alive. And the most important thing that you can be doing is, like I said earlier, is just having fun, being yourself, and doing what you want to do and doing it how you would like to do it. For anyone interested, I've put together a quick guide on the perfect day exercise with some additional resources that you will find helpful when you're discovering what makes you happy and what you should be focusing your time on. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Follow me on Instagram and X and subscribe for more videos like this.